We are aware that the show bill is missing a page for some of the copies. There is a correct copy on the Fair Board page and the Clermont County Pork Producers.
Check 1 2, check 1 2. Check 1 2, check 1 2.
So you can just say we'll be back. We will promptly be starting the show at 8 a.m. At this time, we need Class 1 Market Guild. Where is it set to? We need Class 1 market guilds to be making their way to the holding pens at this time. These exhibitors are Scarlett Lucky, William Birdsall, Lyle Riley, and Isaac Birdsall. Please rise for the playing of the national anthem. Somebody's not. Okay, thank you. Just out of it. Now? Thank you, Claire Wessner, for the playing of the national anthem. Class 2 of Market Guilds needs to be making their way to the holding pens. These exhibitors are Bailey Fishback, Shelby Swader, Brennan Wolfer, Lance Cornwell, and Sawyer Fairchild.
Well, it's certainly an honor here today to have the opportunity to judge your guys' County Board and Bread show. Super thankful for it. I'm going to try to do the best job that I can to my abilities, and we're going to try to make this quick, but also give the kids plenty of time. The young lady in front of me is going to lead your class today. A gilt that I think kind of represents what we want in the show pig industry, a structural correct one that still has that combination of power and build. The young man in front of me is going to be second, one that I think has plenty of shape, plenty of width and dimension. Just when we get behind him, we need to square him up and hock the ground, maybe correct him a little bit on the structural side of things. The young man coming out in third does a real good job. He's trying his best. One that I think represents the commercial hog standard. Just need to add a little bit more width and dimension to that one for him to get higher in class. Young man coming out in fourth has one that I think's got a lot of width and dimension, a lot of power. He's super shapely. We just need to square him up at the ground, maybe add a little bit more bone, and he'll get higher in class today. Please give these exhibitors a round of applause as they head back to the barn.
Congratulations, Class 1 Market Gilts. First place, Scarlet Lucky Leach Show Pigs. Second place, William Birdsell Hilltop Farm Show Pigs. Third place, Isaac Birdsell Hilltop Farm Show Pigs. And fourth place, Lyle Riley 4L Field. Class 2 is entering the ring at this time. Bailey Fishback, Shelby Swader, Brennan Wolfer, Lance Cornwell, and Sawyer Fairchild. Your judge today is Morgan Price from Tiffin, Ohio. He earned a bachelor's degree in agronomy from The Ohio State University and was a member of the livestock judging team. Following graduation, he joined Progressive Crop Solutions as an agronomist. He, along with his family and herdsmen, operate Price Livestock, managing around 80 sows and selling pigs across the nation to compete on all levels. Please give our judge a round of applause. Class 3 market gilts need to be making their way to the holding pens at this time. These exhibitors are Riley Borchers, Hadley Dietrich, Boone Burbage, Isabella Bickle, and Shelby Bainham.
Well, we sort this class down to a top three, and I think it gets pretty hairy when it comes to these three. There's not one that I'm exactly too sure about. I think you could run these about three different ways. But I think at the end of the day, we're judging a market show. They got to have power, they got to have width, they got to have a dimension, and that's going to be the young lady's black gilt right here. After that, I think it gets real hard. I mean, you got a square built, powerful gilt that's not exactly the best looking one. Don't really like her back 2 feet. Would like to add a little bit of bone and a little bit of stoutness to her feature. And then you got the belted gilt, one that's you'd almost say like a show pony. I think you give her a couple months and she's going to be really cool, but you get in behind her, she doesn't have near as much seat into her pants, and just like to see a little bit more width. With that being said, the young man with the calico is going to be second. The young lady with the belted gilt is going to be third. The lady with the calico gilt coming out, I really liked it when it first came into the ring. Well, it's got a lot of width, a lot of dimension. Certainly, you talk about market hogs, that's one that's going to hang a lot. But we just need to square that one up at the ground, maybe add a little bit more stoutness to feature, get it higher in class. The belted gilt coming out in 5th place. The square built, structurally correct one, just a little bit more round. Need to add a little bit more width and dimension, get higher in class.
Entering the arena at this time is Class 3 market guilds. These exhibitors are Riley Borgers, Hadley Dietrich, Boone Burbage, Isabella Bickle, and Shelby Bainham. All first and second place exhibitors from classes 1 through 3 need to be making their way to the holding pens at this time for the division. These exhibitors are Class 1, first place, Scarlett Lucky, second place, William Birdsall, Class 2, first place, Sawyer Fairchild, second place, Lance Cornwell, third place exhibitors from classes 1 and 2 need to be getting ready in the barn.
the young lady is going to start your class today. One that I think puts together the best combination of power and build from top to bottom, from front to back. I think she's a neater looking one that's square made, square built, has enough crest to the top of her back. One that I really appreciate. One that I think there's hard to find a lot of holes in. The young man coming in second, I think that's a high quality gilt that's very square, very structurally correct. I think when he gets him out here and gets her stuck, she's really, really good. She looks really nice. Just when you get in behind her, she's a little bit frailer and loses in some type of width. The young lady coming out in third, I think when you talk about cutability, you talk about market hog, you talk about hanging weight of carcass, this is the pig I picture. One that I think's got a lot of power, a lot of width, a lot of dimension. But when we talk about functionality, and structure, that's where this one loses out, and that's why it's going to be in third. The young man coming out in fourth. The young lady coming out in fourth. Brings out one that's structurally correct. We just need to widen that one up top to bottom, and she'll get higher in class. The young lady coming out in fifth, driving a structurally correct one that we just need to see more of. So, no, you're good. Please give those exhibitors a round of applause.
Congratulations, Class 3 Market Gilts. First place, Riley Borchers, breeder Noss Farms. Second place, Boone Burbage, breeder Noss Farms. Third place, Isabella Bickle, breeder Hilltop Farm Show Pigs. Fourth place, Hadley Dietrich, breeder Leach Show Pigs. And fifth place, Shelby Bainham, breeder Hatfield Pigs and Pugs. Entering the arena at this time is the first place winners from classes 1 through 3. These exhibitors are Scarlett Lucky, Sawyer Fairchild, and Riley Borchers.
I think there's certainly three different types and kinds out here when it comes to, we talk about ones that are a little bit longer made, neater looking, ones that have a little bit more width and dimension, stoutness of feature. For me, I'm going to go with the one that I think puts the best combination, and that's the young lady with a spotted gilt right here.
Entering the arena at this time is Boone Burbage. Isabella Bickle needs to be making her way into the holding pens at this time.
I think that second in class drops in pretty well to match the champion. One that I think certainly has a lot of structural integrity. Unfortunately, I think there's one out here that just has a little bit more width, a little bit more dimension, has shape to the top side of her skeleton, has more bone. That's the young lady with the black gilt right here.
Entering the arena at this time is Lance Cornwell. Brennan Wolfer needs to be making her way to the holding pens at this time. Correction, Shelby Swader needs to be making her way to the holding pens at this time.
We dropped that next gilt in here. I think that's a really good one that I really like. I remember from class. She's got her problems. I know that, but I think this is still a market show, and your young man's gilt right here is going to be the next one.
Shelby Swader is entering the arena at this time.
We drop in that next gilt, and I think it kind of, I don't know, all three of them run together pretty well when we talk about just squareness at the ground and look up high and how they drive and walk correctly. To me, it's going to be the young lady right here is going to be your next one. We get down to these last two gilts, and I think they're certainly high quality, and I certainly think that there's things that I really like about them, things that I dislike about them. To me, it's going to be one with a little bit more width, a little bit more dimension. That's a young man right here.
Class 4 should be making their way up to the holding pens at this time. These exhibitors are Jax Dodson, Caitlin Lindsley, Libby Riley, Jenna Newberry, Ashlyn Bull, and Oakland Fleming. Congratulations, Division I Lightweight Division. Champion Riley Borchers, breeder Noss Farms. Reserve champion Sawyer Fairchild, breeder Hilltop Farm Show Pigs. Third overall, Lance Cornwell, breeder Noss Farms. Fourth overall, Shelby Swader, breeder Swader Show Pigs. Fifth overall, Boone Burbage, breeder Noss Farms. Class 5 market gilts needs to be making their way up to the holding pens at this time. These exhibitors are Charlotte Williams, Taylor Dobb, Bailey Fishback, Sadie Wolfer, Elijah Newberry, and Ansel Hatfield.
We get this class broke down to these last three pigs, and I think it gets pretty tough. There's three in here, and they're all three very, very different. We got ones that are very structurally correct, very sound, walk like a cat. We have other ones that lack in that area, but have the most width, the most dimension, the most power. They're the stoutest featured ones. And then we have another one that, kind of has all of those qualities, but is a little bit more in the middle ground. But to me, I think it comes back, this is a market hog show, and sometimes we have to make sacrifices where we don't want to make sacrifices. And the young lady with all black gilt is going to be your first in class. After that, I think it just comes down to basic fundamentals. We got width, dimension, and that's what we eat, right? We don't eat bone, we don't eat look. So the young lady with the black gilt is going to be second. The young man here driving the white hog coming in third place. I think one that I really like from the side view, a structurally correct, very fundamental hog. We just need to blow him apart on each end to make him get higher in the class. All right. The lady coming out in four, one that I really admire. I mean, he's a cute one. He's got those big ears. He looks good. She's doing her best job showing it. One that we just need to maybe make a little bit more structurally better, maybe be a little bit more sounder, get higher in class. The young lady coming out in fifth is doing a good job showing her hog. One that I like from a market point of view, we just need to widen it out on both ends, maybe add a little bit more stoutness of feature to get higher. Please give those exhibitors a round of applause as they head back to the ring.
Congratulations, Class 4. First place, Ashlyn Bull, breeder Western Show Pigs. Second place, Libby Riley, breeder 4L Field. Third place, Jax Dodson, breeder Hatfield Pigs and Pugs. Fourth place, Oakley Fleming, breeder Leach Show Pigs. Fifth place, Caitlin Lindsley, breeder Hatfield Pigs and Pugs. And sixth place, Jenna Newberry, breeder Hilltop Farm Show Pigs. We need first and second place exhibitors from Class 4 to be making their ways to the holding pens. These exhibitors are first place, Ashlyn Bull, second place, Libby Riley, and third place, Jax Dodson needs to be getting ready in the barn.
I think in this class there's one that rises to the top quite easily for me. It's a sleeker looking, more extended one that's still got plenty of flex on all of its joints. It's very shapely, one that I think just checks all the boxes, and that's going to be the young lady right here in front of me. After that, I think it gets a little bit more difficult. We get this red pig out here and this belted pig out here, and there's kind of some choices to be made. Do you want to sacrifice some structure and have a little bit more stoutness of feature, or do you want one that maybe just kind of does an okay job? But I think I'm going to sacrifice and go with the calico gilt. The young man's gilt coming in third, I think does a really good job in terms of just having the market hog fundamentals in terms of just shapeliness and width and dimension up high, but we just need to fix that one in terms of bone work and maybe make it a little bit more fluent in its structure. The The young lady coming out in fourth is one that I think I like in terms of just structure and build. We just need to widen it up on both ends to make it get higher in class. Nice job. The young man coming out in fifth, driving the black gilt, I think is a high quality one that I think if we just get that drove a little bit better, maybe get his head up, walk him a little bit better. One that I still think is structurally correct, doesn't really have a lot of holes, but we need to widen him up on both ends, get him higher in class. The white gilt coming out in sixth is one that I really like in terms of, you talk about width, dimension, power, and I don't know, maybe she should have been up higher in class, but to me, she looks the funnel down to the ground. She's a little bit shorter faced, and she's a little bit narrower, but still a very good hog to round out your class. Please give him a round of applause.
We need third place from Class 4 and Class 5 getting ready in the barn. These exhibitors are Jax Dodson and Elijah Newberry. Congratulations, Class 5 Market Guilds. First place, Taylor Dopp, breeder Leach Show Pigs. Second place, Charlotte Williams, breeder Westner Show Pigs. Third place, Elijah Newberry, breeder Hilltop Farm Show Pigs. Fourth place, Sadie Wolfer, breeder Wolfer Family Farm. Fifth place, Ansel Hatfield, breeder Hatfield Pigs and Pugs. And sixth place, Bailey Fishback, breeder Westner Show Pigs. Entering the arena at this time is midweight division. First place from Class 4, Ashlyn Bull, and first place from Class 5, Taylor Dopp. We need both third place exhibitors to be making their way to the holding pens. These exhibitors are Jax Dodson and Elijah Newberry.
We get into this middleweight drive, and I think it gets pretty easy for me. And I'm going to go with the one that I think is the soundest, the best, has the most width and shapiness to her, and that's the young lady right here.
Entering the arena at this time is Charlotte Williams.
We bring that second place gilt out, and I think I like her to follow her first place gilt. So.
Entering the arena at this time is Elijah Newberry.
We dropped that other one out, and I think it kind of becomes as much as I want to say it, a battle of structural integrity and ones that maybe walk a little bit better and just more functional and practical in their build, and that's young man's gilt right here. I think this young lady's probably getting frustrated with me because she's been walking around here and we had a little bit of confusion there. Sorry, I'm not keeping track of everything that's going on. This young lady is going to be your 5th overall or 4th overall. A quality one that I think, we talk about practicality in terms of just muscle and power. We just need to square that one up on its feet. The young lady coming out here drives a quality one that's structurally correct. We just need to widthen up on both ends, but still, congratulate her for getting 5th overall.
Class 6 market gilts need to be making their way to the holding pens at this time. These exhibitors are Stella Ninachuk, Paisley Ealing, Wesley Tucker, Tabor Burbage, and Ansel Hatfield. Congratulations, Division II Midweight Champion Taylor Dopp, Leach Show Pigs. Reserve Champion Charlotte Williams, breeder Westner Show Pigs. 3rd overall Elijah Newberry, breeder Hilltop Farm Show Pigs. 4th overall Ashland Bull, breeder Westner Show Pigs. And 5th overall Libby Riley, breeder 4L Field. Entering the arena at this time is Class 6 market gilts. These exhibitors are Stella Ninachuk, Paisley Ealing, Wesley Tucker, Tabor Burbage, and Ansel Hatfield. Class 7 market gilts need to be making their way into the holding pens at this time. These exhibitors are Edsel Dopp, Asher Hatfield, and Savannah Smith.
Well, as we get this class broke down into three, and I think it's more so two for me, I think there's two that rise to the top, and sometimes, I don't know, it's a little bit different on how it looks from class to class when we go from, maybe a little bit more structural problems to maybe just not enough mass and width, and I think this class, it ended up how I liked it, and I'm going to pick the one that I think has the most width and dimension, one that tracks itself on the ground the best, still has good look and shape, and that's going to be this young man right in front of me. I want to compliment the young lady that's showing the pig right here for doing a great job, honestly. I completely overlooked this pig at the beginning of the class, and I almost placed her way down, but she's doing a great job showing it. It's a high-quality pig, and you're going to be second. The young man coming in third today is driving a gilt that I think is, she's square on both ends. She's got a lot of width up high. We just need to make sure, we just need to add a little bit bone to her, maybe a little bit more width and dimension, make her cleaner up in her front end to get higher in class. The young man coming out in fourth is doing a good job showing his pig, a high quality, shapely one that I think we just need to maybe add a little bit more fat to, maybe widen him out on the bottom side of his skeleton to get higher in class today. The young lady coming out in fifth is driving the down-eared pig. It's certainly a shapely one that's got it's ripped up and it looks real good. We just need to widen it out on both sides of his skeleton to make it get higher in class. Please give him a round of applause.
Congratulations, Class 6 Market Guilds. First place, Tabor Burbage, breeder Noss Farms. Second place, Paisley Ealing, breeder Hatfield Pigs and Pugs. Third place, Ansel Hatfield, breeder Hatfield Pigs and Pugs. Fourth place, Wesley Tucker, breeder Hatfield Pigs and Pugs. And fifth place, Stella Ninichuk, breeder Hatfield Pigs and Pugs. Entering the arena at this time is Class 7 Market Guilds. These exhibitors are Edsel Daub, Asher Hatfield, and Savannah Smith. Class 8 Market Guilds needs to be making their way to the holding pens at this time. These exhibitors are Xander Fishback, Kendall Jett, Kemper Shepard, Jonathan Noss, and Piper Standring.
As we start into this class, I think there's three great quality market hogs out here, and I think it's a little bit more of a challenging sort. To me, there's one that's got a little bit more cutability. It's a little bit more shapely. It's got more width off both ends of its skeleton, and it's still structurally correct. That's going to be the young lady's gilt over here. The young man's going to be coming in second with one that I think really challenged that gilt, and I think it kind of corrects and fills in the places where that one didn't. It's got a little bit more smooth to its top line. It's got plenty of width, plenty of dimension. We just need to see it get wider and bigger as it goes away from me. Still a high quality gilt to be in second. Sorry. The young lady coming in third is driving a high quality one that I think, it's got plenty of shape, and it's structurally correct. It's square off both ends. We just need to widen that one out on both ends of its skeleton, maybe add a little bit more mass to its top line for it to get higher in class. Please give them a round of applause.
Congratulations, Class 7 Market Guilds. At first place, Edsel Dopp, breeder Leech Show Pigs. Second place, Asher Hatfield, breeder Hatfield Pigs and Pugs. Third place, Savannah Smith, breeder Leech Show Pigs. We need first and second place exhibitors from classes 6 and 7 to be making their way to the holding pens at this time. These exhibitors are first place Class 6, Tabor Burbage, and Paisley Ealing, Class 7, Edsel Dopp, and Asher Hatfield. Third place exhibitors from these classes need to be getting ready in the barn. These exhibitors are Ansel Hatfield and Savannah Smith.
As we get into these bigger gilts, I think it's certainly a challenge of how big can you get them and how masked up can you get them, and will they still walk? And I'm pretty well pleased with the three I have out here. I think there's one that just does a little bit better of job off of her rear end in terms of planting and pushing correctly, and that's going to be the young lady's gilt over there in the corner, belted gilt. After that, the young man in second, driving a really quality gilt that I really like in terms of just power and mass up high, super burly, but when we step in behind him, he wants to kind of windmill his legs out and not stand and not step quite correctly. Still a very high quality gilt to be in second. The young lady driving the blue gilt is doing the best that she can. He really just doesn't want to cooperate with her. One that I think I really like in just terms of moderation, of checking all the boxes, but nothing too flashy. Still a high quality gilt to be in third. The young man driving the gilt in fourth place is one. Oh, sorry. The young man driving the gilt in fourth place is one that I really like, and I struggled with at the get-go. She's ripped up. She's good. We just need to make that one square up on her rear end, maybe add some bone and structure. Still a good-looking quality hog to go in fourth. The Calico coming in fifth, to me, is a little bit more rounder-bodied square MA one that we just need to widen up on both ends to get higher in the class. Please give him a round of applause.
Congratulations, Class 8 Market Gilts. First place, Piper Standring, breeder Leach Show Pigs. Second place, Jonathan Noss, breeder Noss Farms. Third place, Kendall Jett, breeder Noss Farms. Fourth place, Kemper Shepherd, breeder Leach Show Pigs. And fifth place, Xander Fishback, breeder Westner Show Pigs. Entering the arena at this time is all first place exhibitors from classes 6 through 8. These exhibitors are Tabor Burbage, Edsel Dopp, and Piper Standring. Can all Grand and Reserve Division winners be getting ready in the barn at this time? These exhibitors are Riley Borchers, Sawyer Fairchild, Taylor Dopp, and Charlotte Williams.
When we get into this heavyweight drive, I think it gets really challenging in terms of where you want to go. There's two quality ones in here that I really like, and one isn't really wanting to put up with it. But I think that's the one that it puts together the most positives, I guess. She's big-legged, she's sound, she's good-looking. She's a little bit more of a sow in my eyes, but still a high-quality gilt. The young lady's going to have your champion heavyweight.
Entering the arena at this time is Jonathan Noss. We need Kendall Jett to be making her way into the holding pens at this time.
We bring that second in class, and I think it fits the mold quite nicely to follow the first one. The young man's going to be your reserve.
Entering the arena at this time is Kendall Jett.
We dropped that next one in class, and I certainly think it fits in here. But for me, there's one out here that I do think just has more width, dimension. It's more shape up, high. I think it's just more of a quality market hog, and that's going to be the young lady walking away from me.
Entering the arena at this time is Asher Hatfield.
We dropped that next one in, and it's still a high quality show, and it gets pretty tough when we get down to here. I think we're really sorting on little things right now, and I think the one that I'm going to pick is the one that I think checks all the positive boxes. Really doesn't do anything wrong. Isn't the flashiest, coolest looking one, but the young lady with the blue barra or blue gilt is going to be your fourth. These kids are probably getting kind of mad at me because they've been showing this entire time, and the pigs aren't acting right. But I guess it's all worth it if we all get a ribbon, right? I think there's two gilts out here that do a very good job, and I take either one of them home with me. But at the end of the day, it's a market show, and I'm going to go with the one that just offers more product, and that's going to be the young man right here.
Entering the arena at this time is all of our Grand Champion divisions. From lightweight division, Riley Borchers, middleweight division, Taylor Dopp, and heavyweight division, Piper Standing.
Good morning, everyone. Jerry Waring here, president of the Fair Board. It's Veterans Day at the fair, so if you're a veteran, go over to the Senior Fair Board office and get your food voucher and sign up for door prizes. It's between 9 and 2. Probably already heard, we will be building 2 new barns by this time next year. It'll be the old cattle barn will be tore down and the Gibbons Arena, and 2 new barns. The barns will be tore down as soon as the I's are dotted and T's are crossed at Permit Central. So if you got sentimental value, better take some pictures because they'll be gone in a few months. Thank you.
Congratulations, Division III heavyweight champion Piper Standring, breeder Leach Show Pigs, reserve champion Jonathan Noss, breeder Noss Farms, third overall Edsel Dopp, breeder Leach Show Pigs, fourth overall Kendall Jett, breeder Noss Farms, fifth overall Tabor Burbage, breeder Noss Farms.
We get out here for champion gilt, and I'm certainly glad that these gilts are out here. They're very high quality, very functional, still have the market hog quantities. To me, there's one out here that it's the widest, it's the most ripped up, but it's still practical and functional. It's got the look about it in its front end. It still moves correctly off its rear end. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's correct enough for me, and it's going to be this young lady right here.
Entering the arena at this time is Charlotte Williams.
We dropped that red one in, and I think it fits right in with the mix. But to me, there's one that I kind of fell in love with in class, and she's not really putting up today. And I think maybe if we take it to a breeding aspect, this one the top 2 might be reversed. But for me, it's going to be the young lady's gilt right here is going to be a reserve.
Entering the arena at this time is Jonathan Noss. We need Elijah Newberry and Edsel Dopp to be making their way to the holding pen at this time.
I think we get to this third overall, and it kind of gets hard. You got to put your priorities in places. Do we go with the small one that's structurally correct and flawless and has a cool look about her, but she's still small, or do we go with the little bit heavier one that we're not quite as functional off both ends? But at the end of the day, I think it's a market show, and the young man's going to be your third overall.
Entering the arena at this time is Edsel Dopp.
Now, I kind of hinted at it in my last conversation, but the young ladies' gilt's going to be your fourth overall.
Entering the arena at this time is Sawyer Fairchild.
We drop that all black gilt in here, and I think it gets kind of hairy. I mean, it's tough to make this decision when you have high quality pigs out here, and there's some areas, some are lacking in some areas, others aren't. We have ones that are structural and functional. We have other ones that just really, really hound in on that market hog ability to be blown apart and wide, and but still have that cool look and be burly. And to me, it's going to be this young lady's all black gilt for your fifth overall.
We will now be taking a 10-minute break between the gilts and the barrows. Congratulations, Grand Champion Market Gilt, Taylor Dopp, breeder Leech Show Pigs. Reserve Champion Market Gilt, Piper Standring, breeder Leech Show Pigs. Third overall Market Gilt, Jonathan Noss, breeder Noss Farms. Fourth overall Market Gilt, Riley Borchers, breeder Noss Farms. And fifth overall Market Gilt, Sawyer Fairchild, breeder Hilltop Farms Show Pigs.
We need Class 1 and market bearers to be making their way to the holding pens. These exhibitors are Claire Westner, Lau Riley, Jenna Newberry, Peyton Smith, and Kendall Jett. Class 2 and market bearers can be making their way to the holding pens. These exhibitors are Brantley Clem, Tabor Burbage, Claire Westner, and Hadley Dietrich.
As we get into this first class of barrows, I think we're going to try and keep it a little bit more practical. We're going to stick to the fundamentals. Pick the ones that are, they check all the boxes. They don't do anything wrong, and they're good enough. The young lady right here with the belted barrow is going to be your first. As we move into second, I think there's a high-quality one out here that I wish we could just get it stuck and show really good. One that I think's got plenty of width and dimension. We just need to see that one get out and move better. That's the young lady with the black barrow right here. The young lady walking the down-eared pig. I looked at it at first, and I was about to put it in the holding pens, but then I kind of get on top of that one. And I don't know. Maybe you guys are thinking I'm crazy. But I think that's a high-quality one that's got a lot of shape up top, a lot of shape up high. I really wish we could get a little bit more bone into that, maybe a little bit more width, but still a high-quality pig to be third. The girl showing the fourth place barrow, I think, is one that I really like, just in terms of just being good everywhere. But unfortunately, he gets a little bit narrow, gets way plain about his muscle shape. We just need to get more width front and back to make that one get higher in class. The young man coming out in fifth is one that I really liked when he first came out. He's super athletic, moves very well, but unfortunately when we get him to walk, he wants to duck his tail, get a little bit underneath of himself, need to widen him up on both ends. Please give those exhibitors a round of applause.
Congratulations, Class 1 Market Barrows. First place, Claire Westner, breeder Westner Show Pigs. Second place, Jenna Newberry, breeder Hilltop Farm Show Pigs. Third place, Peyton Smith, breeder Hatfield Pigs and Pugs. Fourth place, Kendall Jett, breeder Noss Farms. And fifth place, Lau Riley, breeder 4L Field. Class 3 and Market Barrows can be making their way to the holding pens. These exhibitors are Libby Riley, Scarlett Lucky, Shelby Swader, and Jackson Noss.
We get into this second class, and there's one for me out here that just does it. I mean, he's a little bit different. compared to the rest, and he's a little bit different from what we've seen today, but he's stout, he's burly, he's good looking. I wish we could pick him up a little bit on his front feet, but still a high quality pig. The young man's going to be your first in class. When we get down to these other two, I honestly haven't even made up my mind yet. I'm not real sure. I'd figure it out now. Two very quality pigs, I think, that kind of check all the boxes. Nothing super crazy about them to me that just, has that wow factor. But for me, I'm going to have to do the one that just has more width, more dimension, more power about it. The young lady's bear is going to be second. The young man's driving a high-quality one that I think checks all the boxes in terms of just structural functionality. We just need a little bit more shape up high, a little bit more width all around, and maybe a little bit more stoutness of feature. Still a high-quality pig to go in third. The young lady driving the fourth place bear is certainly a good one. I like her in terms of functionality and practicality of her skeleton, but we just need to get more width top to bottom, more width front to back for her to get higher in class. Please give him a round of applause.
Congratulations, Class 2 Market Barrows. First place, Brantley Clem, Breeder Leach Show Pigs. Second place, Claire Westner, Breeder Westner Show Pigs. Third place, Tabor Burbage, Breeder Noss Farms. And fourth place, Hadley Dietrich, Breeder Leach Show Pigs. We need all first and second placings from Class 1 and 2 to be making their way to the holding pens. Class 1, first place, Claire Westner. Second place, Jenna Newberry. Class 2, first place, Brantley Clem. Second place, Claire Westner. Third placings need to be ready in the barns.
Very high quality class of bears here, and this is where I think it gets fun in terms of actually sorting hogs. We've checked all the boxes in terms of function and build and then power and everything else, and it comes down to how sexy are they, how do they look, were we talking about stoutness of feature or what? And I think there's one in here that just kind of packs a punch when it comes to just absolute power, but then still being square off both ends. It's still practical and functional. It's stout in its skull, it's stout in its tail roots, stout all the way down to the ground. That's going to be this young lady's bear right here. It was a pretty hard decision in those first two, and honestly, it just came down to stoutness of feature. The young man's bear that's going to be in second right here is still a high quality one. He's ripped up top. He's got a good look to him. We just need to make that one bigger in terms of his feet on the ground. Still a high-quality pig. The young lady that comes in third with the spotted barrow is a quality one that's got width and dimension. We just need to make that one stouter at the ground. Maybe it'll blow her apart a little bit to get higher in class. The young lady in the corner over here, her pig really isn't one to cooperate, but still a high-quality pig that's square built. We just need to see more of her.
Congratulations, Class 3 Market Barrows. First place, Shelby Swader, breeder Swader Show Pigs. Second place, Jackson Noss, breeder Noss Farms. Third place, Scarlet Lucky, breeder Leach Show Pigs. And in fourth place, Libby Riley, breeder 4L Field. Entering the arena at this time is all first place from Class 1 through 3.
We get into this first division drive, and I think there's one that I really liked in the class, and I talked her pretty good, or him pretty good. The young lady with the blue bear is going to be your champion lightweight.
Entering the arena at this time is Jackson Noss. Scarlet Lucky, you need to be making your way to the holding pen at this time.
As we get to this reserve, there's one in here that I think very highly of, and I'm sad that he's second place in class, but unfortunately he's still going to get a piece of the division. This young man's barrow is going to be a reserve. I think there's one in here that I really liked when we were in class, one that I think, really has stoutness of feature. He's got that look. He's got that boldness to him, one that I think, we clean him up, maybe get a little bit of mange off of him. He might get higher in the division. The young man's barrow is going to be your third overall. I think when we get to this fourth in division, it gets kind of tough. We got three pigs out here that look almost the exact same. I think you guys got to take it back to fundamentals and go back to, who's got more width, who's got more dimension, who's still structurally sound, and that's going to be this young lady's barrel right here.
Check 1, 2.
Taylor Burbage needs to be entering the show arena at this time. Taylor Burbage, you have 2 minutes to be entering the arena.
That young man brings a third in class in, and I think it certainly fits the mold of what we've been taking so far. That young man is going to be 5th overall, or 5th in division today.
We need Class 4 market barrows to be making their way to the holding pens. These exhibitors are Lance Cornwell, Cameron Hall, Sadie Woofer, and Jaden Swader. Congratulations, lightweight market barrows. Champion Shelby Swader, Breeder Swader Show Pigs. Reserve champion Jackson Noss, Breeder Noss Farms. 3rd overall, Brantley Clem, Breeder Leach Show Pigs. 4th overall, Claire Westner, Breeder Westner Show Pigs. And 5th overall, Tabor Burbage, Breeder Noss Farms. We need Class 5 market barrows to be making their way to the holding pens. These exhibitors are Caitlin Brandenburg, Boone Burbage, Jonathan Noss, and Kirsten Gray.
To me, there's one in here that I think sorts to the top fairly easily. One that I think's got the width, got the power, it's got the shape up high, it's got the depth of body, it's still square, still high up on its toes. The young man with the blue bear is going to be your class winner. Yep. After that, I think it can get kind of picky and choosy. I think there's still one in here that has that little extra look and that little extra shape up high. To me, the one that's still structurally correct, and that's going to be the young man with the calico pig. After that, I think we got to go back to fundamentals and talk about width and power and dimension. And to me, that's the young lady's bear right here. The young man in fourth does a really good job showing it. His pig just doesn't want to cooperate today. Still one that's structurally correct. We just need to see more of it coming and going.
Congratulations, Class 4 Market Barrows. First place, Jaden Swader, breeder Swader Show Pigs. Second place, Lance Cornwell, breeder Noss Farms. Third place, Sadie Wolfer, breeder Wolfer Family Farm. And in fourth place, Cameron Hall, breeder Hatfield Pigs and Pugs. Entering the arena at this time is Class 5 Market Barrows.
Check 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2.
Certainly an interesting class. I think there's two that sort to the top quite easily. And to me, I think it's one that just reaches more off the edge of his skeleton, has a little bit more width from behind, a little bit more stoutness of feature. And that's going to be the young man's bear right here. Coming in a certainly close second, the young lady driving the bear right there. I think that's a high quality one. Just gets a little bit rounder on the top side of its shoulder. As we get down to the bottom two, it's back to fundamentals. Which one has more width? Which one has more dimension? Which one did we get to see more of? It's going to be this young lady right here. Young man's black bear. I wish we could just really get him out and drive him, maybe get him more reach and length of step out of him. Still a high quality one that has plenty of width and dimension. Please give him a round of applause.
Class 6 of Market Barrows needs to be entering the show arena. These exhibitors are Isaac Bertzel, Cole Jett, Elijah Newberry, and Asher Hatfield. Congratulations, Class 5 Market Barrows. First place, Boone Burbage, breeder Noss Farms. Second place, Caitlin Brandenburg, breeder Noss Farms. Third place, Kirsten Gray, breeder Western Show Pigs. And fourth place, Jonathan Noss, breeder Noss Farms. Making their way to the holding pens needs to be Class 7 market barrows. These exhibitors are Paisley Ealing, Shelby Bainham, Savannah Smith, Oakley Fleming, and Wesley Tucker.
I think a class like this, it might be where showmanship might sort out a little bit of things. There's one in here that I think, it's not the best in terms of stoutness of feature. It doesn't have the biggest leg and the craziest look, but to me, it's built correct. It's got plenty of power. It's going to be this young man's barrow right here. After that, I think it gets a little bit tougher. I mean, there's 3 more pigs out here that looked pretty well the exact same. But to me, there's one that just puts it together better than the others, and that's going to be this young man's barrow right here. After that, we got to get back to fundamentals like before. One that just has a little bit more shapeliness, one that maybe just has a little bit more width from behind, and that's going to be that belted barrow right there. The young man rounding out the class, he's trying his hardest, but his pigs, I think he's just too athletic for him. He's going fast. He's got a good build. We just need to see more of that pig for him to get higher in class. Please give those exhibitors a round of applause.
Congratulations, Class 6 market barrows. First place, Asher Hatfield, Breeder Hatfield Pigs and Pugs. Second place, Cole Jett, Breeder Noss Farms. Third place, Elijah Newberry, Breeder Hilltop Farm Show Pigs. And in fourth place, Isaac Bertzel, Breeder Hilltop Farm Show Pigs. Entering the arena at this time is Class 7 market barrows. We need all first and second placings from Class 4 through 6 to be making their way to the holding pens. Class 4, first place, Jaden Swader. Second place, Lance Cornwell. Class 5, first place, Boone Burbage. Second place, Caitlin Brandenburg. Class 6, first place, Asher Hatfield. Second place, Cole Jett. Third placings need to be get ready in the barns.
As we get into this next class of bears, I think it sorts us out. It sorts itself out pretty logically. To me, there's a square built, more correct one in here that checks all the boxes. It's still got plenty of shape, plenty of power, one that walks fluently, and the lady's certainly doing a good job showing it. So the young lady right here is going to be a class winner. After that, I think it just goes down the line, you know, which one's still correct, but what one still has enough width and dimension. That's going to be this young lady right here in the corner. After that, you know, we kind of go to the fundamentals, and we got to go to leanness and how much shape we have, and is the structure correct enough, and the young man's going to be third with a high-quality pig. The two blue bears coming out next are ones that I certainly enjoy. You know, they're functionally correct. They walk good. You know, they got a good look to them. Unfortunately, we just need more width and dimension throughout both those pigs to get higher in class.
Congratulations, Class 7 Market Barrows. First place, Savannah Smith, Breeder Leach Show Pigs. Second place, Oakley Fleming, Breeder Leach Show Pigs. Third place, Wesley Tucker, Breeder Hatfield Pigs and Pugs. Fourth place, Shelby Batum, Breeder Hatfield Pigs and Pugs. And in fifth place, Paisley Ealing, Breeder Hatfield Pigs and Pugs. We would like to welcome our judge this morning, Morgan Price. Morgan is from Tiffin, Ohio, and he earned a bachelor's degree in agronomy from The Ohio State University and was a member of the livestock judging team. Following graduation, he joined Progressive Crop Solutions as an agronomist. He, along with his family and herdsmen, operate Price Livestock, managing around 80 sows and selling pigs across the nation, complete on all levels. Please give our judge a round of applause.
We get in this division drive, and I think it gets kind of hard. There's two of them that sort to the top quite easily, and I like them both a lot, and I'm not really sure which one I like more. There's one that I think is just a little bit stouter. It's a little bit denser. Just a little bit bigger in kind of all aspects. I question sometimes how he walks a little bit, but still he's structurally correct enough for me, and that's going to be this young lady's barrow.
Entering the arena at this time is Oakley Fleming.
We dropped that second place in class in, and I think it joins the group pretty well. Unfortunately, for all the other pigs out here, there's one that I kind of fell in love with in class, and I'm kind of a sucker for blue ones. This young man's going to have your reserve.
Lance Cornwell needs to be entering the show arena. Sadie Woofer needs to be making her way to the holding pens. Wesley Tucker, please be making your holding pens.
We dropped that next one, and I think it gets quite competitive between two of them. They're very alike in terms of type and kind. They're a little bit smoother bodied, a little bit, they speak in volume, I guess, when it comes to their middle third. But for me, there's just one out here that does it a little bit better, and that's going to be this young man's barrow right here.
Caitlin Brandenburg, please be entering the show arena. Kristen Gray, please be making your way to the holding pens.
I talked that last one like there was one that was really similar to him, and that's going to be this young man's barrow right here.
Sadie Woofer, please be entering the show arena.
We dropped that next one in the class, and he certainly fits the mold, but for me, there's one out here that kind of puts all the pieces together correctly. He's good in his walk. He places his feet correctly. He's got enough width. He's got enough dimensions. He's neater looking. It's going to be this young lady's barrow right here.
Class 8 market barrows, please be making your way to the holding pens. These exhibitors are William Bertzel, Stella Ninichuk, Isabella Bickle, and Madeline Royce. Congratulations, middleweight division, champion market barrow, Savannah Smith, breeder Leach Show Pigs, reserve champion, Jaden Swader, breeder Swader Show Pigs, third overall, Boone Burbage, breeder Noss Farms, fourth overall, Lance Cornwell, breeder Noss Farms, and fifth overall, Caitlin Brandenburg, breeder Noss Farms. We would like to thank our sponsors for today's show. These include Quality Care Automotive, the Libby Group, Jerry Witter and Sons Trucking, Southern Ohio Equipment Services, Evans Funeral Home, True Cut Construction, Midwest Construction, Merchants National Bank, Leach Show Pigs, Kramer Meyer Waring Dickerson Insurance, Milford Winelson Company, Boot Country, Rinaldi Orthodontics, Rolling Hills Veterinary Service, and Buckley Brothers. Please give our sponsors a round of applause.
As we approach this first class in the heavier division, I think we're starting to reach the weight and the age range where things can get a little bit weird with feet and legs on pigs, and I think that's what's happened here. Unfortunately, there's still decisions to be made, and you still got to show your project. There's one out here that I'm not going to say he's the correct when it comes to the ground, but when we get up high, he's certainly the biggest. He's certainly a bullest, and it's going to be this young lady's bear right here. After that, I think we go to the opposite end of the spectrum. We go to that one that's neat looking, that's super cool from afar, and you get in behind him. Yeah, he doesn't have near as much in the seat of his pants, but to me, I really like those ones that look cool from the side, level top line, walk like a cat, and that's going to be this young lady's blue bear. After that, I think it just goes back to fundamentals. Which one's bigger, which one's wider, which one can still walk, and to me, that's going to be that young lady's belted bear over there. The young man rounding out the class is trying to do his best. He's doing a good job. That's a quality pig, and I think that's one that, if you're going to tell me I'm going to eat one in this class, it might be that one. That's a high-quality one. Unfortunately, we just need to get him a little bit more stouter featured, maybe thin him up a little bit on a less fatty diet to get him higher in class.
We need Class 9 market bearers to be making their way inside the show arena. These exhibitors are Edsel Dopp, Jax Dodson, Jackson Noss, and Kemper Shepard. Congratulations, Class 8 market bearers. First place, Madeline Royce, breeder Hilltop Farm Show Pigs. Second place, Stella Ninichuk, breeder Hatfield Pigs and Pugs. Third place, Isabella Bickle, breeder Hilltop Farm Show Pigs. And fourth place, William Birdsell, breeder Hilltop Farm Show Pigs. I need Class 10 market bearers to be making their way to the holding pens. These exhibitors are Radley Borchers, Xander Fishback, Taylor Dopp, and Brennan Woofer.
As we get into this next class of barrows, I think there's one that kind of hit me hard coming out of the gate, a quality one that's got the length of neck, the reach up front. It's got that super cool look. It's stout enough in terms of its skull. It's extended in its front end. It's jet level on top, and it's still functionality and practical. This young lady's barrow is going to be your class winner. After that, I think it gets tough. I mean, there's two other pigs in here that still read with a lot of quality. There's one that's like a little bit of a freak, and I kind of like him. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to side with the one that just got more depth of body and a little bit more width and a little bit more practical. This young man's barrow is going to be second. After that, I kind of just want to sit here and admire this one. You know, that's ones as a producer, it's kind of cool to make those, just how freaky he is in terms of his head and neck and how much he goes up front. Unfortunately, he wants to get down on his feet on all fours, and he walks a little bit funky. I don't know, there's something going on with his hip, but still a quality pig to be in third. The young man's barrow, unfortunately, still a high quality one that's built correctly. We just need to see more of him as he comes and goes throughout the ring.
Congratulations, Class 9 Market Barrows. First place, Edsel Dot, Breeder Leach Show Pigs. Second place, Jackson Noss, Breeder Noss Farms. Third place, Kemper Shepherd, Breeder Leach Show Pigs. And in fourth place, Jax Dodson, Breeder Hatfield Pigs and Pugs. Entering the arena at this time is Class 10 Market Barrows. This is a reminder that if you would like to take your pigs home, you have until an hour after the conclusion of the show. This is also a reminder that the County Born and Raised Meat Goat Show does start at 12, so if you are taking your pigs home, please try to be diligent. Thank you. We need all first and second placings from Class 8 and 9 to be making their way to the holding pens. Class 8 first place, Madeline Royce. Second place, Stella Netichuk. Class 9 first place, Edsel Dopp. Second place, Jackson Noss. Third placings, please be getting ready in the barns.
Certainly a challenging class here as we get into the heavier weights. There's two out here that I think rise to the top quite easily. To me, it's you know, it can go either way. There's a little bit of a harder doing harder bellied one that is more ripped up. There's a little bit of a softer made one that might be more practical in terms of structure. Doesn't quite have the look up front. Fortunately for me, I guess I'm the one who has to make the decision. So I guess I'm going to go with this young lady's bearer right here. After that, it's a pretty easy decision for the young lady's belted bearer to go in second, one that I really appreciate from the side. It certainly has that extra look, has that extra reach. It just gets a little bit harder in its belly. It wants to, be a little bit weird off its rear end. It's not quite as stout as featured. Still a very high-quality market hog to be in second. After that, I think we just go back to fundamentals of market hogs, and we just go to what one's the widest, which one's the biggest, which one's offers the more product, and that's this young lady's bearer right here. The young man's bearer rounding out the class is a high-quality one that's square built. He's good made, and unfortunately, he's got that swollen gland down there, and I'm not using that against him at all. That's something that you can't fix, and that nobody really knows how to fix or why it comes. It's just where he ended up in class. Still a high-quality pig to round out the class.
Congratulations, Class 10 Market Barrows. First place, Riley Borchers, Breeder Noss Farms. Second place, Taylor Dot, Breeder Leach Show Pigs. Third place, Brendan Wolfer, Breeder Wolfer Family Farm. And in fourth place, Xander Fishback, Breeder Westner Family Show Pigs.
We get into this division drive, and I think there's 3 pigs out here that have a lot of quality, but to me, there's just one that kind of puts all the pieces together. It's sleek looking, it's big-legged, it's stout in terms of skull, stout in terms of tail root, still got depth and still got function. The young lady's bearer right here is going to be your champion.
Jackson Noss, please be entering the show arena. Kemper Shepard, please make your way to the holding pens.
After that, I think it gets a little tough. I've been preaching market fundamentals all day, and market pig this, market pig that, width, dimension. But at the end of the day, they still have to be functional and practical. They still got to be able to move off both ends of their skeleton, and they have to be able to move comfortably. With that, I think there's one that does that very well out here, and that's this young lady's bearer right here.
Taylor Dot, please be entering the show arena. Brennan Wolfer, please make your way to the holding pens.
I'm not going to waste waste a bunch of time out here. These pigs are getting tired. Some of them are getting ornery. Kids have been out here showing a lot. To me, there was one that followed up in that class that was high quality, and it's that young lady's barrow right there.
Brandon Woofer, please be entering the show arena.
When it comes to making the next selection, it gets kind of difficult. We talked earlier about market fundamentals and where it needs to be, and there's give and take in every scenario. Is one wide enough? Is it shapely enough? And then the other ones, it's so much everywhere, and then it gets a little bit structurally incorrect. But I'm willing to make sacrifices. This young lady's barrow is going to be your fourth one.
Stella Nenachuk, please be entering the show arena. Isabella Bickle, please make your way to the holding pens. Correction, all other exhibitors are dismissed.
We dropped that last one out, and I still think it reads with a lot of quality. One that we really like from the side, and when I picture that one from the side, it's as good as ever. It's when I get in behind him, I think he lacks a little bit, that up top as well. He's not as shapely, but still, one that I think reads with enough quality and look and structure that he's going to be your fifth.
We need all grade and reserve from our three divisions to be making their way to the holding pens. Lightweight division, grand champion Shelby Swader, reserve Jackson Noss. Middleweight division, grand Savannah Smith, reserve Jaden Swader. Heavyweight division, grand Edsel Dopp, and reserve Riley Borchers. We need our third overalls to be getting ready in the barns. Congratulations, heavyweight division market barrows, grand champion Edsel Dott, breeder lease show pigs, reserve champion Riley Borchers, breeder Noss Farms, third overall Taylor Dott, breeder lease show pigs, fourth overall Madeline Royce, breeder Hilltop Farm show pigs, and fifth overall Stella Nenachuk, breeder Hatfield Pigs and Pugs.
We get into this champion bear drive, and I think it gets tough. There's two out here that I really, really like. One's really big, one's really small. The one small one's got a lot of cool pieces. He's put together correctly. He's got extras. We get to the bigger one, and he's just as good, but he's bigger. He's got a little bit more bone. To me, I think it's just the one that I like better, and I mean, there's not much you can do about it, I guess. When it comes to judging small pigs and little pigs and big pigs, it takes a little bit more to get that bigger pig to that higher weight, but still have all that product and not be messed up anywhere. With that being said, this young lady's bear is going to be your champion.
Etzel Dopp, please be entering the show arena. Correction, Riley Borchers, please be entering the show arena. Taylor Dopp, please be making your way to the holding pens.
I kind of alluded to the fact that I really like that blue one, and to me, he's the one who does it the most correct out of all three of these. He's going to be your reserve.
Jackson Noss, please be entering the show arena. Brantley Clem, please be making your way to the holding pens.
Certainly three quality hogs out here. To me, there's one that does it the best and is also a little bit bigger. It's going to be this young lady's bear right here.
Taylor Dopp, please be entering the show arena.
We dropped that next one in, and I certainly think he comes in here to play ball. He's not messing around. He's got plenty of shape up high. He's stout featured. I'd like to fix him on his front 2 feet, but still high quality pig. The young lady's going to be your fourth.
Thank you so much.
Two high quality ones out here that we have left standing. I think they're very similar in terms of type and kind. They got plenty of shape, they got plenty of build. I'd like to fix them in terms of their bone, maybe make them a little bit more functional. To me, it just goes for the one that just has a little bit more extras, a little bit more look up front, and that's going to be this young man's Barra.
We need our Grand and Reserve overall Gill and Barrow to be making their way to the holding pens.
Just one and two.
Our Grand Champion Market Gilt, Taylor Dopp, and our reserve champion Market Gilt Piper Standing meet to making their way to the holding pens. Our grand champion Barrow Etzel Dop needs to be making her way, as well as our reserve champion Shelby Swader.
We get out here for champion overall, and you guys can slow down on the pigs. I'm not going to give some big speech about a bunch of different stuff. I'm just a 25-year-old kid that got asked to judge this pig show, so I'm here. I know what I know, and it's not a lot. So that's my speech. Yeah, and as you guys can tell, I'm very good at public speaking. We had a few problems on the mic there in the first 5 classes. I stumbled over my words a few times, but I'm trying my best. I'm getting better at it. Hopefully I picked them right today. I think I did. And when we get to these two, I think there's just one that puts it together nicer for me. It's still got plenty of shape. Both of them have so much width, but there's one that's just got a little bit more depth, a little bit more bone, a little bit more elegant about his look, and that's Young Lady's Barrow.
Congratulations, Grand Champion Market Barrow, Exhibitor Edsel Dot, Breeder Leach Show Pigs. Reserve Champion Market Barrow, Shelby Swader, Breeder Swader Show Pigs. Third overall, Riley Borchers, Breeder Noss Farms. Fourth overall, Taylor Dot, Breeder Leach Farms. And fifth overall, Jackson Noss, Breeder Noss Farms. Congratulations to our overall champion Market Hog, Edsel Dot, Breeder Leach Show Pigs. If we could have all county-born and raised exhibitors come to the show ring for a picture.
Attention in the barns. You have exactly 1 hour if you're removing pigs. You need to get them out quickly and as soon as possible and no unloading tack. Because the